Good afternoon. Welcome back. We're talking about our letter O today. Today's going to be a little bit shorter, but we're still going to get the most that we can out of what we're doing. Last week we were working on our letter L. Let's see if we can remember our cards from last week. Ready? L, ul. L, ul. Lion, ul. Lion, ul. Good. O, ah. O, ah. Octopus, ah. Octopus, ah. Good, let's make some together. Ready? L, ul. Lion, ul. O, ah. Octopus, ah. Very good. How many letters were there in the alphabet? 26 letters. Very good. There are 26 letters in the alphabet. Some are in red and they are vowels. Let's see if we can remember our 5 vowels. Ready? A, E, I, O, and U. One more time. A, E, I, O, and U. Today we're going to learn something very new with all of our letters and sounds, with all of what we've been doing. We're going to be talking a little bit about a sentence. But before we get to that, we have to know, what's a sentence? I don't know what a sentence is. But a sentence is like whenever Miss Elmore's talking to you right now. This back and forth, trying to tell someone something. So we're going to be looking at a little chart. This is a chart. A chart helps Miss Elmore hold things. With our letters we've done so far, we've done L and we've done O. We've done L and we've done O. And we just reviewed over both of those. This is my word, letters. If it's a letter, I'm going to put it in this spot. If it's a word, which a word is where letters are in a certain order to make it a word. Just like remember when we talked about your names. Your name is different because your letters in your name in that order make your name. Miss Elmore's name does not look like your name because the letters are in a different order. Words. So we have letters. We have words. And then words in a certain order make a sentence. A sentence is a way to tell someone something. So I might say, the cat is black. That's a whole sentence. My cat is black. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 words. There are words that make up my sentence. And to make up a word, I have to have letters. Letters in a certain order make a word. Words in a certain order make a sentence. So we're going to have a couple of these, and I'm going to tell it to you, and you're going to try to help me. You're going to tell me if it's a letter, if it's a word, or if it's a sentence. Here's my first one. This says mop. M-op. Mop. Mop. Is it just one letter? I see 1, 2, 3 letters, so it can't be a letter. Is this a sentence? Am I telling someone something? Mop. Or is it a word? It is a word. The word mop. So this one's going to go under words. My next one is this. And it says, look at me. Look at me. There are 3 words in this. So if there's more than one word, it can't just be a word. Words in a certain order make a sentence. So this is a sentence. Look at me. So Miss Elmore's going to put it under the sentence part. Here's another one. You can hop. You can hop. 1, 2, 3 words. You can hop. So if it has more than one word, it's telling me something. It's a word, It's a letter or it's a sentence? It's a sentence. Good. What is this? This is something we learned last week. This is the letter L. Notice Miss Summer helped you with that one. It's the letter L. So it's a letter. What sound did our letter L make? Ol. Ol. L says ol. L says ol. Every letter makes a sound. The L says good. So this one's going to go under our letters. Here's Miss Summer's next one. Is it a word? No. Is it a sentence? No, it's just one thing by itself and it's a letter. What letter is this? S. This is the letter S. S is going to sound like S. So it's going to go under letters. Let's look at one more. This is a word we've actually done. B-L-U-E. And notice I called it a word. B-L-U-E. B-L-U-E. I can spell blue. The big sky is blue. The ocean is too. Hi-ho, did you know B-L-U-E spells blue? So it's a word. It's our color word. So let's review. Let's look at what we did. We have letters like S and L. We have words like blue and mop. And then we have sentences like look at me and you can hop. So in order to get to sentences or tell people what we want, if we were writing it down, we have to know our letters and our sounds and the difference between what a letter is, a word is, and what a sentence is. So we had letters, L and S, words, blue and mop, and sentences, look at me and you can hop. Good. Over the week, since we've been talking about our letter O, notice how I said letter, it's a letter. We've been talking about our letter O. We have it up here on the board that we're going to do here in a minute with Miss Elmore. We also have it over here, and it says that O is a vowel. O is a vowel. Remember, that means it can have two sounds. It can sound short, and it can sound long. This is the short vowel sound for O. Ah. Ah. We had orange, ox, octopus. Then I also have a word up here that's kind of silly. It's fox. But notice in the middle we have our O. We have our short vowel sound for O. Listen to the word fox. Ox. Ah. Notice that middle sound. This is the short O sound. Remember, our vowels are like that glue that holds the other letters together. So we're going to keep adding on to our big O over here with it being a vowel and seeing it in different spots and see how many we can get. Let's look at our song. Remember, our song has different things that have our O sound in it as well that sounds like ah, ah for our O. It's going to be called octopus stew. Remember, that sounds so silly, doesn't it? If you remember it from earlier in the week, try to sing it with me, remember? Here is a question I'd like to know. What can you name that begins with an O? Good job. Oxen and otters, ostriches too, oranges and olives, and octopus stew. Let's try it one more time. Ready? Here is a question I'd like to know. What can you name that begins with an O? Oxen and otters, ostriches too, oranges and olives, and octopus stew. And I've talked about it with a couple of my kids that have been here, and we kind of decided that we don't know that we'd try octopus stew. That might kind of taste kind of silly, but I did have a few people that were willing to try it, so that's going to be kind of neat to see who would do that. Okay, go ahead and get Miss Elmore's binder out and see if you have this paper. It should look like this. You're going to have your octopus, octopus, your capital O and your lowercase o. Remember, both make the same sound. Ah, ah. But don't get in a hurry. You're going to have to listen. You're going to have to use those listening ears to decide which thing you're going to put on which line. So I need you sitting like Riley the raccoon, ready to write. And I need you doing your very best behavior. Remember, when you're at home, you need to behave just as good or better than when you're not. I'm almost done. I'm so sorry. I'm finishing my video. I didn't know they were cleaning this afternoon. I'm almost done. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 1. This is where you're going to use your listening ears. On number 1, we're going to write the capital and the lowercase letter that sounds like ah. Ah. Which letter are we going to make? Oh, good. Pull this way, down, around, and back up to the top. Right next to it, I'm going to do my lowercase o. It's just going to be smaller, down, around, back up to the top. This is like my octopus. Remember, if you can't remember what sound it makes, think about your octopus and what it sounds like when you say octopus, octopus, and what shape your mouth makes. On number 2, we're going to write the capital and the lowercase letter that sounds like ol. Ol. So I'm going to hold my paper and I'm going to think to myself, what sounds like ol? I know that the L sounds like ol. There's my capital L and my lowercase l. The other day we practiced matching a capital to a lowercase. Remember, every single one has a capital and a lowercase. Let's see if we can do the same thing with this one. Are you ready? The lion's tail's pointing to some. I can tell the difference between the two because the smaller one is lowercase, the bigger one is capital, since they do look alike. This one is my lowercase, so I need to draw a line to match it to my capital. Look at my next one though. I have a capital and a capital. Am I going to match a capital to a capital? No, I'm going to match a capital to a lowercase. Capital to a lowercase. Then I have one more. Look at the bottom. Is this a capital? Yes, it's a capital what? Capital O. What sound does my capital O sound like? Ah. Ah. Good. And then I'm going to match it to my lowercase. Capital to my lowercase. Go ahead and turn your paper over on the back. Look at number 3 of your Riley the Raccoon, and she